Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Otis, you crazy mother.
And we are live.
Oh my God, I thought it was never going to happen.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Oh, what a rush. Oh, man.
Yeah.
My very first episode, bruh.
Yeah, no kidding. No
It's
kidding,
pretty,
man.
It's pretty impressive, bruh. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Way off our target.
Yeah, so for those of y'all that are going to watch, we were supposed to start this SummerSlam. Then there were some, of course, technical difficulties. And then I decided to go out and get married, and that botched some stuff. And tried to have a WWE wedding where Sage the Mark comes out and tells me he's the father of my child, or children. And then we tune out. At the end of the wedding, lights go out. We'll say, we got to go. We'll see you next week. But guess what? It didn't happen. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're glad to finally be going at you live. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And to be honest with you, if you think this video sucks, well, in the audio version, whatever you listen to, you don't care about what we're talking about, leave a thumbs down. And then tell your friends to spam the thumbs down. Because I like to troll people myself. And if you leave a thumbs down, I want you to comment and make fun of one of us. And if you do make fun of one of us and we think, and we laugh and we think, man, that was pretty good, you got some mic skills, you could make fun of me and I will go ahead and give you a shout out on the podcast if we think you got mic skills. But for the most part, you probably don't. You idiots.
So, with our two views per month, whatever. So let me start out, man. First off, I got to give a couple of shout outs here, bro. So first off,
yes,
I want to thank you, Ben Goosen, for retweeting and sharing out the link. Without your support, we wouldn't be here, bro. Also gonna go ahead and shout out Staronics.
What up?
Thanks for hitting us up with that like. Stylish Kicks, the Diva Bible. I probably did slide that wrong, but if you guys
has a lot of tweets. I'm a fan of the Diva Bible.
Yeah, me too. Good stuff there, man. Our newest follower, Matt at Epic Vlogman, does good stuff there. Appreciate you, bruh. Suraj Sean, thank you for showing us love on the poll for our CWC and which belt was here. Rizzy Raw, appreciate you, bruh. Thanks for hitting that like. And last but not least, hashtag Joyride or at King David T1 1989. Thank you so much, bro, for showing us some love.
You guys. Really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much.
So, but since this is our first episode, I guess we got to introduce ourselves. Who you bees, bruh? Who you bees?
So you can follow me. So just a little bit about myself. Again, I really appreciate you watching, listening, just interact. This thing is supposed to be fun. That's what it's all about. So big gamer, love gaming. You can follow me on Twitch, Ben_Goosen, which also happens to be my Twitter handle, Ben_Goosen. I'm getting bigger into twitching just because it's become more and more fun. Madden and Call of Duty Zombies, gonna definitely be copping Infinite Warfare, November 4th. Gonna be copping that real soon. Love sports, as you may have heard on our beta podcast, are kind of like soft opening podcast. Big fan of the Miami Dolphins. Huge fan of the Miami Dolphins. They're actually, and I know you're probably thinking like, bro, they're playing right now, and you're coming on here and doing a podcast. Yeah, that's true. However, don't even get it twisted. I've got the game pulled up on my tablet right next to me here. Huge Miami Dolphins fan, even bigger Chicago Bulls fan. I think that Wade, Rondo, and Jimmy Butler can do things, deceptively good things, but we have a good defensive team actually this year. But that's a whole other mute point. Also a big UFC fan. I'm starting to get into boxing, but big UFC fan. But if ever you want to hit me up or even ask me on my thoughts on things, or you just want to chat, I'm a big wrestling fan, obviously, or else I wouldn't be doing this. Been a wrestling fan for 30 years now officially. I got pics. I had to find the pics. I got pics of when I was a 2-year-old sitting watching Saturday morning wrestling back in the day. So huge wrestling fan. Follow me at Ben_Goosen. I actually got it right this time, because last time I told y'all it was real Ben Goosen. But it's Ben_Goosen on both Twitch and Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Ben_Goosen when I go live. Go ahead and follow that on Twitch so you can see when I go live with video games. High Round Zombies, Madden Ultimate Team, normally messing around on the auction block trying to give you sniping tactics, and I will be coming at you with Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, and UFC reviews, which, by the way, we're going to have a special guest. It might be somebody who is closely related, maybe they are, maybe they're not, to Sage the Mark, for our upcoming UFC 205 thoughts around the card. But yeah, man, sorry to steal the spotlight. I apologize. So, Sage the Mark. Yeah, dit. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, you know, it's Sage the Mark. I try to keep this short and sweet. I mean, what can I say, man? I'm the biggest mark you'll ever see, and I'm proud of it. Like Ben Goosen said, I've been watching wrestling since I was in the womb. It's the bread and butter of what I do. I mean, I've never actually been in the ring, but I am a big sports fan, and like Ben Goosen, I too father a team.
Say it.
That is
Which
at
team?
the bottom.
Which team?
At the totem pole. Dog pound, baby. Dog pound for life. All right. Huge Cleveland Browns fan. Don't ask me why. I just am.
Who'd they play last week?
I don't even remember, bro. I got that short-term memory going, man.
Who did Terrell Pryor play last week?
Yeah, Terrell Pryor played everybody on the Dolphins, man. Browns didn't even show up, bro. It's all Terrell Pryor, man. Hashtag dog pound. So I am big into gaming as well, mostly on the RPG side. Final Fantasy, beating every single Final Fantasy there is. And I'm very proud of that accolade. Shout out to that Mystic Quest in that Final Fantasy 3. And Squall is better than Cloud. Don't get it twisted, son. You can find me on Twitter at Sage the Mark, all together. Also, show some love to our website. I mean, we put it up there for a reason. IRWP.us. There you can get all of our archives, our videos. You can get our Twitch channels. You can get our soon to upcoming Patreon to help us support keeping this thing going. Show some of that love. IRWP.us. Share, subscribe. We appreciate it, guys. And with that being said, let's get right into it, son. What's good?
All right. So we can start from a lot of different areas. There's a ton of stuff going on in the news this week, right? So you have the potential sale of TNA. Last I heard, I don't even know if they have the money for Bound for Glory this Sunday. You got kind of the state of Raw. We're coming off of the first Raw pay-per-view. You have the state of SmackDown. So, man, we got a lot of... You know what? Let's go ahead and start. What do you think of Raw this week?
Oh, man. Probably the same that I thought about the pay-per-view, bro. I don't even remember it. That's just how crazy it is, man. And that's not to say that it's not to say that it was bad or anything. It was decent, but I don't know, man. The highlight for me is the cruiserweights and that intro by TJP, bro. I'm such a big
Oh
fan of
yeah.
TJP's entrance.
Oh yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, so let me ask you then. When we briefly touched on this when we were hanging out earlier, so the cruiserweights, um, they have what, 4 signed officially? Is that right? 4 signed?
I think it's okay. So we have TJP, we have Brian Kendrick, we have Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, Grand Metalik, and Gallagher, I believe, is officially signed as well, but has not. He's either debuted and I haven't seen them, or he's going to debut next week. But he is officially signed.
Okay. Oh, okay. So,
And then TJ. Did I say TJP already? I don't remember. I think I
yeah.
did say.
So
I think officially it's 6. We might have Noam Dar because I heard that he might have signed, but I still haven't seen him yet.
So, are you okay with that? Let me ask you that.
Yes. So for the ones that we do have, I'm good with, man. I absolutely followed every single one of them through the CWC,
Mhm.
and I absolutely loved them. In fact, those were part of my picks to come up. So really no issues there. The issues that I have is that there's certain ones that I want to see that have not either confirmed or we don't know if they're coming. I mean, if you know, man, I'm big on Akira Tozawa. I thought he was amazing. So uh, him, we don't know
Yeah.
about Ibushi. I mean, there was this huge marketing in the CWC for Ibushi, and we don't know anything about where he's going to end up or land. And who else? Noam Dar. It'd be crazy not to sign Noam Dar. I think that probably the issues with some of them is just the mic skills. I think that's the big
Yeah.
issue with the main roster. But honestly, like from a cruiserweight standpoint, like if you're gonna keep the same format as the CWC in terms of like making them shake hands at the very end after the contest ends and things of that nature,
Yeah.
forget the mic skills. Nobody needs the mic skills, man. Put those guys,
Really?
yeah, like well, because you're not marketing them as entertainment. You're marketing them as a
Their own.
sport. Yeah, as their own brand, their own sport. You're separating them from the rest of the roster. And if you think about it, back in the WCW days, when the cruiserweights were really, really hot, like none of them really had any speaking, like in-depth speaking or promos. Speaking of promos, right? You maybe had maybe 1 or 2 sentences here and there, and that was it. It wasn't really in depth to the level of what WWE is right now. And it worked. I mean, it worked, right? Chris Jericho is probably the only one who really talked, but and then when Raven came through, and that was a little bit different, and everyone started speaking. But before then, not really many people were
So
talking. So
do you dig the purple ropes thing?
I think that's a bit excessive, bro.
I agree.
Not like my room in your nursery.
Yeah, like my room that I'm in right now.
So let me, you know, I've been wanting to ask this. Did they change out the ropes, or is that a
They changed them
projection
out.
of the light? Okay, they do
No, I
change.
thought the same thing. So I didn't know if it was a projection either. No, they change them out. So that just means if the cruiserweights are about to fight, they go, the cronies come out and change the ropes and all that stuff.
Okay.
They just come out last minute and change the ropes, probably during like a commercial break or whatnot. So the cruiserweight thing, I'm cool with. I'm cool with the people they have. I'm actually glad that they didn't sign all of the CWC participants because you just have way too many people. But it adds to the specialness of the CWC. Like, you had people coming from pretty much all over the world, and if they all got signed by WWE, you would know, like, oh, they're just kind of scouting for talent, that they're just going to sign to the WWE. But if these guys come in from all over the world, do their thing, showcase their skills, and leave, then it kind of adds the, wow, this really is a tournament. This really, it would be better if they fought in Outworld, but they're not. It's kind of like the Mortal Kombat tournament. But no, I think it's cool. I mean, and to be honest with you, with just having 4 or 5 people in the cruiserweight division right now, obviously they're going to add other folks. So Sin Cara, Callisto, Neville, and Black Neville. And Black Neville, for those of you who don't know, that's Apollo Creed. To me, he's Black Neville. Neville, he just happens to be black. So I call him Black Neville. So Black Neville, and to be honest with you, I'm telling you, man, Enzo will be in the cruiserweight division once the eventual, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but once the Enzo and Cass split happens, and Cass, he's a big, 6'10", 7-foot dude, he's going to get pushed, really hard. Once that happens, then I would think Enzo, even though he wouldn't be the best wrestler in the cruiserweight division, he would by far have the best mic skills. He would almost be like the Jericho in WCW, with the mic skills and some pretty decent wrestling ability of the cruiserweight division to me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The only thing is that you don't want your best talker burying everyone, then no one will ever get through. You don't want your best talker continually burying your talent, because then no one will be able to come up and be successful in that role, especially if you're heavily marketing this as a less scripted form of entertainment. So I don't know, man. I like the old traditional cruiserweights. You can't have a division with just 4 people. It gets very stale and very boring. And at this point with Raw, the way that it is right now, for all its follies, it's the last thing that they need is to have something that's stale.
Yeah, I agree. And what's funny is I was just thinking earlier today that Raw being 3, does Raw really need to be 3 hours? Because I was thinking maybe they haven't decided the format quite yet, because the old WCW Nitro style was you'd have the main event, the NWO for the most part, Hogan, Sting, Luger, the Wolfpack, these guys would be the 9 to 10 o'clock hour.
Yep.
But you would have your cruiserweights and your mid-level talent open up the show, and then your U.S. title kind of and your kind of second-tier talent handle the 8 to 9 hour. So I feel like Raw hasn't really found, now with the brand split, they got to change stuff up a bit, what the structure of the show should be. Or maybe they don't want to go with a specific same thing structure every week, so they have some fluidity. But I think them having the cruiserweights on the show, what it's shown me? And Finn Balor was the most recent example. It was that everybody that goes to a WWE live event does not necessarily have or watch the WWE network, because when Finn Balor debuted, he didn't get half the pop, and he's great. I'm a Finn Balor mark. He didn't get half the pop that he would get in a smaller NXT arena. Because those are diehard fans, it's in the same location for the most part, every week in Florida. And then when the CW or the cruiserweight division debuted, and TJ Perkins came out, he's the cruiserweight champion. Crickets.
Yes, crickets and delete.
Yes, yes.
So I for some reason I didn't hear those chants going on. I don't know if it got deleted or delete from Hulu Plus when I was listening to or when I was watching the match. But yes, I heard there was crickets and there were
Hmm.
all kinds of chants. I think they even said that there was a CM Punk chant going on.
Yep.
So
During the match, and
during the match,
the match was a great match. The match was a
yes, I mean,
legit bona fide match. Like, I was entertained. I knew TJ Perkins was going to win, obviously, because it was his cruiserweight debut or cruiserweight championship Raw debut, or he's the champ. But crickets,
yeah,
crickets.
and I'm absolutely with you, man. Like the crowds, the majority of these crowds, if it's not in Philly, if it's not in Bronx, if it's not in Texas, like the crowds, and if it's not in Orlando or in Florida, the crowds are just they're terrible, man. Like terrible. And it kind of reminds me of like going to a circus, right? We go to the circus at the Freedom Coliseum, and they're doing the events with the
Hmm.
with the elephants and the lady going with in the rings and everything like that, and the only one who's really oohing and ahhing and clapping and stuff like that are the kids, right?
Right, right.
And it doesn't really start picking up until towards the end when the motorcycles are in the cage and they're all going around in circles, crisscrossing each other,
With
and then
fire
everyone is with the
and
fire.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly, and the adults are into it and stuff like that. So I think that's part of the problem as well. Um, I don't really think that it has anything to do with the 3-hour format, although many people will disagree with that. I just think that uh, shout out to LBR for coining this phrase. These are filthy casuals, man. They don't really respect the wrestling craft for what it is. They go there just because it's an event, it's a spectacle. Um, don't really appreciate the art of wrestling, no pun intended. And I do love Colt Cabana and his show, but that wasn't a plug for him, just letting y'all know. But they
yeah.
don't respect the craft at all, and I think that that's the problem, and that's the problem I have. And I honestly get offended when I listen to these crowds, like,
And hear a CM Punk chant.
well,
Dude hasn't been around in
yeah,
3 years, 2 years.
yeah. I mean, at some point, I get it, right? Like, I get it when you're forcing someone down our throats that we don't like, and we want to voice our opinion, and we do the delete chants and we do the CM Punk chants. That I get, right? Because I understand where that's coming from. But like when the women, and I get the women's are probably the prime example. Like, these women are actually like putting their heart, sweat, and tears into these matches and to make it a great match, and you're sitting there and you're disrespecting them, just because you feel like you have the voice to do it, or you don't do anything at all, which I think is just worse. You just sit there and just like you can hear the yawns and the crickets in the mat. That's just too much, bro. I can't do that. I can't do that at all, man. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls.
Definitely a lot of trolls, man.
And I like to troll. Yeah, I'm not a. It's so I was a fan of the CM Punk chants when Stephanie McMahon and them were out there, but
When it makes
when
sense.
correct, I just it's kind of getting old now. And I'm a fan. I mean, hey, and you know what? If you paid your hard-earned money, you deserve to chant whenever you want. But yeah, I'm interested to see how the cruiserweight division's going. What else did you think about Raw?
Um, I thought it was pretty interesting that they paired Sheamus and Cesaro up together. I still don't know what to make on Sunday, whether that was planned
It
or
sucks.
not. Yeah, I mean, it definitely did suck. And the only thing that I could really think of that would kind of make sense is that oh, that which reminds me, something else pisses me off. We're going to talk about before we jump into SmackDown. Um, I think that they're going to be the ones to take the titles off of Anderson and Gallows. not Anderson and Gallows, the New Day. After the New Day beats is it the Legion of Doom's record or Demolition's record of 400 and something odd days. So I think that's where they're going to do, and they're probably just going to be placeholders for someone else. But with that being said, man, dude, what the hell is going on with Anderson and Gallows? I don't get it, man. I feel like they've been like completely buried. And I don't get it. Like it's sad. Like I feel like you brought these guys in to quote unquote like make your heavyweight division a bit more serious, kind of like how Hall and Nash came into the and how Hall and Nash actually came into the NWO for WCW to make it a bit more serious, right? It's like where the big boys play kind of thing. But I thought that was pretty weird that I feel like these guys are getting buried. And I don't really like that too much. So I'm hoping that eventually they're going to do something with them. Maybe they lose, or maybe this losing streak that they have for the last couple of months with the New Day will actually reward them later on down the road with the tag team belts. Maybe instead of taking them off of the WWE's homegrown talent, that they'll end up taking it off of lesser talent in Cesaro. And I hate to call them lesser talent because those guys are fantastic. They do great work in the ring, but like Sandow, they're giving crap and they try to make the best out of it. So, but yeah, maybe they'll take the belts off of them. So, oh man. So it looks like Vince or Vince. Who am I talking about? It looks like Ben Goosen kind of disconnected to our thing. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit here, guys. Let me know what you guys think, man. What you guys think about Raw? Either mention us at Real WrestleCast on Twitter or hit that hashtag IRWP and let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, just let us know. Please be sure to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Our hub, our website is at irwp.us. So I appreciate you guys showing us love and support. I'm going to take a couple minutes to show some more support for the people that have shown us love in the last month here. So let's see who we got here. All right. Okay. So Queen Evil, appreciate you showing us love on the podcast. Chris CF, appreciate you showing some love and support to our podcast. JS Lawrence on Twitter. Appreciate you showing some love to us on the podcast as well. As always, German Andre, appreciate you showing us love on the podcast and watching our Periscope stream. That's pretty awesome. And then the independent wrestler, Everin Orion. If y'all haven't seen this guy, y'all go and check him out. He's at Everin Unlocked on Twitter. That's EVREN Unlocked, UNLOCKED. Definitely a supporter of independent podcasters, so appreciate that. And is also willing to let us interview him, so that should be coming pretty soon. JW, thank you for showing us support on there as well. And then last, KB JTS 4TW. Appreciate you showing us some love there. So
You son of a bitch.
So Let me get this thing back. Welcome back, bruh. I tried to hold it down for real. We're gonna have to edit that out of the audio.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we
That's the
are.
beauty of just going live, man. And also hearing that feedback.
You can hear feedback right now? Is
Oh yeah, I can hear myself all day.
that any better?
Let me see. That's a little better, man. That's tolerable.
It's because I got you on speaker. Well, you're about to tell you what, because I had to log on my phone. Look.
Yeah, I could tell, bruh. I could tell.
I don't know if you can see that. The old bitch
Dude.
ass Windows has to update.
First rule of podcasting, always reboot, bruh.
All right.
Log
Let's get
onto
this
your
done.
phone and let's get this done. All right, man.
Right.
So just quick click notes, man. From what I was saying before you cut out, I'm upset that I feel like Gallows and Anderson are getting buried.
Little phone drop. Phone drop.
Yeah, just a bit. What do you think about that? What do you think about the status of Gallows and Anderson?
You know, they're done. They're done. They're done. I don't know. Nothing more to say. Is there anything more I got to say?
I think it's terrible, bro. I literally thought that they were gonna have a good run with the titles. I mean, they've got everything going for them. They're great in the ring. They're good on the mic. What is it that I'm missing?
I don't know. I think surely it's not a Vince wants to bury him because they were successful outside of WWE, right?
I gotta think that it's nothing like that, man. I'm wondering if they had this whole story arc with them and Finn Balor and just fell apart once Finn was hurt, and then with them split away from AJ. You know, I don't know, man, because it seemed like that they were gonna do it with AJ, and then they split AJ up, and then it looked like they were gonna do it with Finn, and then Finn gets hurt, and now they're in limbo.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think that's just terrible, man. I honestly, man, I hope they get drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah. Man, that's tough, bro. Cause like,
Tag teams matter, bro. Hashtag tag teams matter.
that's what I'm saying. You know, it's tough, man. Cause, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're done. They ain't that good. I think that they're like they're losing matches. They don't have mic skills.
I don't know, man. I think Carl Anderson has my skills, bro. Just,
Well,
I mean, most of the stuff that
showcasing
he
them.
does. Exactly. Yeah, I just think that's terrible, bro. Oh man. So what
So
about
is the New Day?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, before we go into SmackDown, is the New Day? Since we were talking about tag teams, are they getting stale?
I think that anytime that they're on the verge of getting of being stale, they pull them back.
Who's they?
The authority figures pull them back. So either they'll go 2 weeks hot on the promos and then 1 week dud, and then like a week off the mics, and then it's rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's the way that they handle them in terms of if they get stale. I do think that they don't need the titles at all, bro. I really don't think that they need the titles. And I can't say this enough. The tag teams don't matter there at all. Like
Not on Raw, not at all.
not on Raw. Yeah,
When
like
you have to put Sheamus and Cesaro together, you don't matter.
No, not at all. I mean, you might as well just put them in like in a fatal four-way every week or something, because
Ugh.
like that's not a believable tag team. There's not really any story together. It's just like peanut butter and jelly just put together and just hope that it's enough peanut butter in the middle for it to stick.
Yep.
Um,
You
so
know who is a hot tag team right now?
who?
Usos. That's my tag
So
team of 2016. The heel turn. Well, I guess now that we're going into SmackDown, the heel turn. Oh my God, those dudes are. Those dudes got it. New theme song this week.
yes.
The excuse me. The gangster attire and everything.
I love it, man. I love it. And yo, I think it is so gangster that and I apologize if I'm getting them mixed up, but when Jimmy goes for the
The
splash on the top
splash.
rope and then Jay's just sitting there on the turnbuckle
Yes.
while he's flying over him, that is so flipping great, bruh. That is
Yes.
so great.
I agree.
I could watch that all day, bruh. All day. So shout
Yeah,
out
and
to them, man. That's what they
well,
needed,
they're not
man.
doing high flying moves anymore either, or
No, I mean that's the only high
dabbing or
fly move
anything.
that they actually do. Yeah, that's the only high fly move that they actually do. For the most part, they're ground and pound, and I love it.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it.
So
When was the last time that we saw a technical tag team?
heel tag team. Jeez. Yeah. No, like a ground based. Just cheating. Yeah. No. I mean, at first I thought when they turned heel, I was like, they never really fully explained why, but I kind of just made it up in my head that they're the wily veterans, and then you have American Alpha, the Ascension, and then these put together tag teams like Breezango and stuff just thrown together. So I figured they just got annoyed by it all and decided, oh, this ain't shit. These guys ain't nothing. So I like it, and I think SmackDown wise, speaking of the Usos, Naomi, jeez, if she's not the most athletic female wrestler, like, and I'm talking like her, I'm talking about SmackDown, Raw. She's just an athlete. I mean, when was the last time you saw a woman do a springboard off the ropes? You don't.
Yeah, you don't at all, man. What was the catchphrase of Charlotte, bruh? It was she was in NXT.
Oh, I have no clue.
Was it something like genetically superior?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. She was
Yeah,
pushing
that
that
is
whole
like
Flair's daughter thing.
yeah. That perfectly describes Naomi, bruh. She's just genetically superior to like she's athletically gifted. She moves well in the ring. Um, she's entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she sells, she doesn't oversell. I love it. I am truly a fan, and I like the fact that they brought her back or gave her an opportunity to work face. I know that she didn't like the idea of being a heel, which I thought she was a fantastic heel. Um, but I do prefer her as being a face, or maybe somewhere in between.
Sasha.
I prefer Sasha to heel.
Oh yeah, well she's a natural heel. Like when you have that
Yeah, but I was
swag.
talking about Naomi.
Oh, sorry. I thought I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good, man. She's got it. Um, I'm more of a fan of the SmackDown women's roster. Well, we'll talk about that. So women's rosters, I think
Hands down.
Raw
Yo,
has
wait,
three,
wait.
and that's it.
What is SmackDown at right now, man? Like tag teams are superior, right? The heavyweights are superior. That maybe not in like
They got John Cena and AJ Styles. That's it. Like that. Enough said. You
yeah.
have the best wrestler in the WWE and AJ Styles, and you have the most
Shit,
over, the most
doing-
famous.
and Miz is doing better than everybody on that roster. On everybody on the Raw roster, the Miz is superior in every way
Yeah,
right now.
dude. I don't know if they finally told Miz, "Hey, you know what? Go out and just talk on the mic and do whatever you want." Well, that Miz and Dolph Ziggler promo. So I don't know if Dolph Ziggler took acting lessons, but when he at first when he interrupted the Miz, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought like, bro, you already lost. I mean, get over it. You're gonna come out and you're gonna push the whole I work my butt off. And he did, but when you saw like the tears in his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
great acting. But I thought, man, this guy really does put it on the line. Does he get the credit? And just that whole segment, and then Miz coming into the ring and telling this was my favorite moment of SmackDown by far.
Wait. Let me say.
Dude,
I love it.
yes. Yes, when he came back in the ring and said, "You're not going to take a 30-day sabbatical. You're not going to Raw. You're not going to NXT. You're gone."
Or any other promotion.
Yes. When he said that, I was like, Miz, you're calling out all of wrestling. Because there's been countless I quit and loser leaves town and I retire matches. Then they're back in 6 months. And it happened. And then they make up some fabricated storyline about, oh, well, we hired him back. Matter of fact, I think it was, I think John Cena lost to Wade Barrett in the Nexus and he got fired or something like that a couple years ago or whatever. But like everybody comes back. But that was my thing is like, Miz called out the WWE on that, and you see more of that these days. And Dolph poured it on the line and was damn near crying when he did that. So I just thought that was very. I love that segment so much. So now I guarantee it, No Mercy. When I watch it, I'm gonna think, oh man, there really is something on the line here. That's bigger than the IC title. Because if Dolph loses, I know I'm not going to see him for at least a few months.
Well, first off, when you're going to say No Mercy, you got to say it right. You got to say it like Maurice. No mercy.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yo.
And you want to talk about the baddest girls? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Maurice
buddy.
is on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
Oh.
buddy. Don't even have to wrestle.
Yeah. But I thought
bro.
SmackDown was good. I thought the main event was good.
Let me ask you. If you did not have the network and all you saw was that promo that promo between The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, would that be enough for you to get the network to watch that pay-per-view?
That's a good question, because especially since they give you the free trial for 30 days.
Mm-hmm. And that was the only thing that you knew about the card itself, was just those two and what was at stake.
No, probably not. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but no, because I wouldn't subscribe to the network just because of one fight on a card. Now, granted, if I didn't have the network and the card happened, would that match be like when I scroll down to some website and read No Mercy results? Would that be the first one of the first matches I scroll down? Yeah, absolutely. I'd read, like, because you know how the results give you like, oh, Miz with a headlock, Miz with a chin lock, Miz is coming back, Dolph Ziggler with the drop kick. They give you like play by play. That's definitely a match that I'd read the full play by play on. But no, I don't think I'd ever subscribe to the network for one match per se. It would take a lot. I think it would take like a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble to make me subscribe to the network. You?
Honestly, I whether it was me subscribing to watch it or whether it would be me watching it scramble like the old days, if that was even possible, or
Channel 99.
Channel 99, or ordering it as a pay-per-view like the old traditional days, which most of you kids don't even know what that's all about. I think it would have been enough for feel for me. Like I felt invested, like that gotcha factor.
Yeah.
And because if I take that and I compare it to the main event on Raw segment for their go home, this isn't even the go home promo, bro. That's how crazy it was. Like, I would still be more invested in that SmackDown pay-per-view than I would that Raw pay-per-view.
So I'm more. So I want to get your thoughts on something. So, do you ever think if Raw is bad, like say you see a Raw and it just flat out sucks, does that dissuade you from watching SmackDown, or does it persuade you into watching SmackDown twice as much?
So, great question. Um,
That's why I asked
that's why you been goosing, bruh.
it.
Oh man. Honestly, if it was pre-draft, I would not watch. I mean, I would watch SmackDown occasionally, and I would think that most of that is due because I feel like if Raw is supposed to be the better show, then what hope does SmackDown actually have since it's an extension of Raw, right? The
Yeah.
storylines are continuing. The same people are going to be on there, but you probably see more of the B plus players like the Curtis Axels and the Connor and the Ascension and all that. But no, man, like I can literally say that I'm okay with missing Raw live, and I'm okay with not watching all the segments on Hulu Plus. But you can't get me to not watch SmackDown live at all.
Oh wow.
Like it's like just like that, man. Like I will find a way to watch SmackDown live. It's the better product. Like it is a wrestling show. It is the WCW to the WWF. And I love it. I I love it, man. It truly is its own brand right now, and I actually watch it more than I watch NXT.
So you know what I really liked about SmackDown this week, and this is just and people and to me, I mean, maybe I don't know if they mess with the audio of the crowd, but one thing I really liked was this week on SmackDown, they did a very gimmicky, very entertainment based segment with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
I love that. So that type of stuff where I mean, come on, like at the end of the day, when Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton goes to the back and there's the arrow pointing to the right and he switches it to the left and they zoom the camera in and they zoom the camera out and it's facing back to the right. Or when Randy Orton opens a door but he doesn't realize Eric Rowan is petting the wall
I
on the
love it.
door. I watched I watched that and
Or,
if
or, you forgot one other part, bro, where they try not to pan all the way up so that you don't see that there's a ceiling right there and a sheet
yes,
behind.
yes, it's just a black sheet. So I I like that stuff, man. Like Bray Wyatt told him at the beginning of the show, you got a time clock, the the sand in the glass and everything. And the show was about that. Like well not the full show, but the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt segment was about that. And it's cheesy and it's entertainment, but but the crowd actually popped for it, man. Like when Randy Orton switched the arrow of the skull and bones, the human bones, when he switched it to the left, they zoom in. Randy Orton looks around the corner. They zoom out, and it's facing the right. And Eric Rowan is standing there stalking Bray or stalking Randy. You're like, oh man, Randy's screwed. And the crowd actually decently popped for it. They popped as much as they could for a backstage segment that they're just sitting there watching, but they decently popped for it, man. So I'm a fan of those entertainment segments. I'm not gonna lie, that are so over the top like that is. Um, but maybe that's why I'm also a fan of Decay and Delete and Final Deletion and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I am definitely with you on that, man. Um, I I'm wondering when the ratings will finally reflect the greatness that is Raw, because although they've improved week after week after week, and it is showing that they are catching up. I think they were like at a 2.3 while Raw was drawing like a 2.4 or something like that. Like at what point? Yeah. So SmackDown was 3.3, 2.3, and I think Raw was at a 2.4. So I'm wondering when will SmackDown truly get that push, that WCW push, or is it even there? Is it possible to get 3.0 anymore in wrestling?
Oh no, not right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so SmackDown has the advantage. I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, so SmackDown has the advantage of no Monday Night Football. So, like, think about it. If the if the Browns and Dolphins played on Monday night, those are two of the least entertaining teams you could think of to watch.
Although their last encounter was pretty great.
Yeah, this I, I don't know if it was great per se. With that first minute and a minute and a half of the game had two fumbles, a quarterback who couldn't call a play in time because the stadium was too loud, and an interception, and it ended with a place kicker or a kicker who missed three field goals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to be honest with you, you and I are wrestling fans, but we'd be switching back and forth on. Oh, let me see what's going on in this game real quick. Let me see what's going on in this game real quick. From an attention standpoint, I'm not talking about
Yeah.
changing the channel. So I think SmackDown's ratings have the opportunity to get bigger than Raw because they have less competition than Raw does. But no, no, I don't think wrestling has the appeal because there's no competitors is one part, but it just doesn't have the appeal, that sexiness, um, to gain. Because back in the Attitude Era, they were getting like 5.0s to 6.0s, which is unheard of. But I just don't think so. Now that Cena's a bit older, that was a really good question. You don't have anybody who breaks that mold to watch the show other than people who I don't think they have anything to bring in a new audience. I think the cruiserweights and the women's revolution and stuff like that helps cater to the existing fan base, which is good because it's like the old saying goes, it's cheaper to, for the long story short, cheaper to renew a customer than to get a new customer in. But
Yep.
it I don't know. What do you think? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's there anymore. I can't really pinpoint it like scientifically or um but I don't think the interest and the appeal is there for it to garner a 4.0 or a 5.0, or even a 6.0. I don't think it's there anymore. And I think a lot of it has to do with the watered downness over time. And SmackDown is slowly kind of breaking from that mold. They're taking a bit more risk and giving a little bit more liberties on the mic. You can tell that it's less scripted, or the delivery is just a bit better than it is on Raw.
Well, I
Um,
think they have a lot of former NXT writers, to be honest with you, that focus on
that's
the
probably
wrestling side.
that's probably what it is because like I- if the if it is scripted, I'm not even really noticing it, and that's a good thing. And the 2 hours flies by quick, man. Like 1 minute I'm watching them in the ring, I'm watching them in the ring. Like it starts off action at the very beginning, and then
Yeah.
like by the time that it's over, I'm like, I want more. I want to see more. And
But
then
is it because it's 2 hours though
um
versus three?
I I don't know. I mean, I think that you could throw a Breezango in there for a third hour or second hour, or you could throw a um who else do they have? A Baron Corbin
The
more.
extension? So you're telling me if you threw in a third hour of SmackDown, you're seriously telling me you want to see Breezango versus the extension? You want to see Black Neville versus a jobber? Like,
I mean, first off, I like the Ascension when they were in NXT.
okay, so
And
yeah,
I think that their gimmick got screwed when the writers thought it was a good idea for them to trash legends. I never supported that at all, and I think that that's where their credibility went out the ring. I think you have an opportunity in SmackDown, and we've seen this with Heath Slater and with Rhino. You have the ability on SmackDown to make these guys, for better or worse, great again. Like you have the opportunity to build these guys up. It might not be in a match between Breezango and uh, and Connor and the Ascension, but you can put them up against jobbers or lesser talents or make it competitive. Even if they don't win all the time, you could still make it competitive and interesting for them to come back. This would be a great opportunity for Curtis Axel to make a push for that mid spot, and yet we still don't see him. So, I mean, I think that there is more opportunity for a third hour, but you know what? They supplement the third hour with this talking smack. Like it's an extension of the show
true.
on the network,
And it gave us the Miz.
and it gave us the Miz exactly.
Yeah,
I think that I think they're doing a lot of great things, and honestly, I don't want Raw to mimic it because I think that they would only destroy it. I prefer SmackDown. I literally prefer SmackDown. It is my
I
number
do too
one
right now.
my number
Well,
one
think about
show.
it. Like, do you want to watch The Walking Dead if it's 2.5 hours each week? No.
No,
Do you want to watch Empire if it's a 2.5 hour or 2 to 3 hour? Like, just throw an hour onto all your favorite shows. Of all of your favorite shows, I'm willing to guess that very few you would want that extra hour. Very
yeah,
few.
I would agree with that, man. I would agree with that. I just don't. I don't think it would be fair to say that the only reason why I like it more is because it's shorter. Because I don't think for me at least, and I know I'm in the minority when I say this, I don't think that third hour is the problem. Because I could still sit through and watch WCW Nitro, which is in a 3 hour format. I could sit there and still watch it and it'd still be great. I think that what they're the way that they are booking it makes it terrible. Like nothing
Hmm.
matters. There's no reason the Bailey should be in 2 minute squash matches. There's no reason that I should be seeing Kane destroy the younger talent and never have the opportunity to get revenge on it. I I think it's just all messed up, completely messed up. But that's just me, bro.
Yeah, I could totally see that. So, yeah. So, gotta
And the
ask.
pay-per-views have been better too, man. The SmackDown pay-per-views have been so much better.
I
I,
agree. I agree. Better wrestling talent. So, I gotta ask, do you think that uh, TNA, mm, they're definitely gonna have their show this weekend. So, how broke are they? Are they gonna be sold by the end of the weekend? Are they gonna be sold in a week?
um, I mean, we could sit here and speculate. Um, and they've been facing this thing for years. Maybe this is the final time, the final straw, or the nail in the coffin for them. But it's just sad because the past couple of months, they have really turned things up. And then with the acquisition of Aaron Rex, aka Sandow, and Cody Rhodes, I can't remember what his name is, going into TNA, and like
It's gonna be Sage the Mark.
it's gonna be Sage the Mark.
Yep.
I had such high hopes that they were gonna be able to, turn around and turn things around and be better. But I did tell you, and I did say this a few months back before all these rumors even started, that if WWE ever decided to express interest in TNA, it would solely be for the archives to put onto their network.
Yeah, I could see that. I honestly don't think they give a shit about the TNA talent that much. Maybe they'll scoop up a couple people here and there. But so I also think that yeah, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't think TNA will be around that much longer. Maybe they'll sell, maybe they won't. Um, I mean, what are you really trying to? I don't know what their value is or whatever, but I'd be interested because a lot of those guys will become free agents or stay under contract with TNA and just get paid for a long time. But maybe it would bring the Hardys, whose contract ends in February, by the way. It might bring them back to the WWE. So do you think if the Hardys went back to the WWE by February, are we going to get Matt and Jeff Hardy in the WWE, or are we getting Brother Nero and the Broken One?
We are gonna get Brother Nero and the Broken One, bruh. Like, hands down. But it scares me because remember what happened when the NWO made the jump.
Exactly.
It was terrible. It was a
Mm-hmm.
completely 300% watered down catastrophe. And they decided to inject poison.
Yes. Vince
And
McMahon turned around in that chair.
yes. And how can you have the NWO with only 3 guys? Yeah.
So the NWO was weak because they came in and people still liked Hogan, so they were like, "Oh man, I'm going to cheer this guy." Didn't Kevin Nash get injured in like his first match? He tore his quad or something like that. And that kind of pulled the steam from it, and they were just like, yeah, this is done." But I would love to see the Broken One and Brother Nero in WWE, not as the Hardys, and of course them as a tag team or just whatever, and eventually finish as the Hardys, so they don't. Because Jeff
So
Hardy,
become
honestly, he'll still get over.
unbroken.
Yes, see the light. Because I just think Matt Hardy's segments. That's the thing, though. Can the Broken One, Matt Hardy, will his segments be as good with WWE based production? Because it's going to be better production, better written. Or does he? Because I kind of feel he gets like his stuff is cool because they use drone cams, because they have to keep it tight on budget, so they film it at their house.
But
So
I don't necessarily think you have to have a big budget to pull it off, bro. I mean, just look at was it the compound? The white
the Wyatt
compound. It was overproduced and completely unnecessary and didn't make a lick of sense whatsoever. Didn't solve anything. It was simply just a money grab, bruh. It's like when you put out an awesome game and then you decide to throw out a DLC and put Cloud Strife in every one of your games, or the Michael Jordan in every one of your games, just because you know that he's hot right now, or
yeah.
That's all that was, bro. But honestly, if TNA does get sold and they do get Matt Hardy and they do get Jeff Hardy, I really hope that they get creative control over their characters. I that's the only way that I can see this working is if they get creative control over it and let them do them. So I mean, they've already experienced the greatness that is the Broken One. I mean, at every one of their live events, that's all you hear is delete, delete, delete.
Well, there was a delete chant on Raw this week.
Yeah, and that T.J. Perkins match, bro.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh man, my dad and brother. Shout out to at Mega TJP. I love that, bro. That dude's funny, man.
Yep,
Love
yep.
that entrance, man.
Well, I know we've been doing this for about an hour now, so you want to wrap it up? Do you have anything else you want to chat about? I know I haven't been doing it an hour. I got deleted from my bandwidth apparently for a little bit, so my station had to reboot. But no, I didn't have anything else I wanted to talk about other than saying, to be honest with you guys, if you're listening out there, you're gonna listen. Just thanks for listening. It's our first episode. You know, we're grinding hard. We're working hard on this. It takes us a bit of time. 'Cause it's just us two fellas. You know, we got families. We're doing our thing. We got full-time careers and everything ahead of us, and that we're in the mix of. So I'm not saying that that's a hindrance to our production or anything, but I am saying that it does make us more appreciative of you just listening to the podcast and everything. So drop me a line, man, at Ben_Goosen, either on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ben_Goosen, whenever I go live, or just go on and it's a funny picture. My Twitch picture is a picture of George Jefferson. And if it's not George Jefferson, I'm not sure what shows up when you search me on Twitch. If it's not George Jefferson, it's Will Smith. But it's not any Will Smith. It's a wax figure. I went to Madame Tussauds and took a wax figure picture of Will Smith and tried to troll all my friends and tell them, yo, I'm out at the bar. I met Will Smith over here. So twitch.tv, Ben_Goosen. Or just hit me up on Twitter, man. Just Ben_Goosen. I don't care if it's DM. Even if you hit me in the DM, then obviously it goes down in the DM. So if you hit me up, in the DM, that's fine. We'll just chat, man. I'm always down to see what's going on or meet new people, talk wrestling. I've been to 3 WrestleManias. I'll have you know, which is more than most people. So I'm always down to just chat with some wrestling fans, or if you just want to talk some shit and say your Dolphins are trash, you lost 7-22 tonight, and you scored off of a 70-yard blown defense bomb to Kenny Stills, then that's fine too. Don't talk trash about my Bulls. That one I take a little bit serious. I'm a big Bulls fan, but no, just hit me up. Again, Ben_Goosen, twitch.tv, Ben_Goosen. Hit me up anytime, man. Really appreciate you guys watching.
And as always, show some love to our podcast at Real WrestleCast. You can find me on Twitter at Sage the Mark. And that's pretty much it. Please share, like, subscribe. I'll try to get these things out on a regular basis and upload it to Twitcher. Look, I got it all wrong, bro. Stitcher, Stitcher, iTunes, and all that other stuff, man. I'll have that coming down as soon as we get this thing edited. So, but yeah, guys, appreciate the love. Thank you for the love and support. Share this out. Let the word out. And most of all, keep it real.
All right, bro.